How are you?
Hello. Good. How are you?
Doing well, doing well. I absolutely loved Griffin and Summer, so congratulations on the film.
Thank you so much.
Just to confirm, is this your feature film debut?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, I would consider it. I mean, I did like really small parts before that, but this is my debut.
Awesome. Congratulations on that as well.
Thank you.
What inspired you to pursue acting?
I I mean, ever since I was little, I really loved TV movies. And I think I always kind of wanted to be a part of that. It was always something I wanted to do and I had interest in. And I did local plays when I was 9 for a couple of years, and that really helped. It was great to see different actors and like working with them in person and what it's like to be a part of the process. And I think that was like really the moment when I knew that that was what I wanted to do. And also just like watching some of my favorite people and directors and watching them and looking at their work and taking inspiration from that was really big for me since I was little and up till now.
Awesome. Um, what was your first impression of Griffin when you read the script?
My first impression was that he was a brat. Because he is. I think he is a brat and he doesn't have any sympathy. But if you watch the movie, you'll see that that changes throughout. But yeah, I think he's a cool character because I think you there's a lot of ways that you can connect to him if you're into theater or if you ever had like a crush on an older person or um if you feel like you don't hang out or don't have many friends that are your age, or there's a lot of attributes that I think other people can click with, and that's something that was really interesting for me to hear also to hear other people talk about. I've heard a lot of people tell me that they've connected with him and with the story, and I think that was something that's really cool to hear. I think Nicholas, the director, thinks that's really cool to hear, and I obviously think that that's super cool.
It definitely is. I was a theater kid when I was younger, so I definitely resonate with the trying to get plays off the ground and
Yep.
trying to be trying to be a serious artist, even
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
if
Yeah.
you can.
Yeah.
Um, Griffin really just reminded me of a very artistic young Sheldon. So I was wondering, how did you prepare to play him?
That's funny because I actually did watch, like I took some inspiration from Young Sheldon, and I think I had a couple friends during auditioning that were like into writing plays and into that kind of aspect, and I watched them and see how they treated their work. And then obviously I watched Young Sheldon and I kind of incorporated that. And um working with Nicholas too, because he had a really uh great vision for Griffin. And I think for most of the stuff we kind of agreed on it, but there was also stuff that like I was learning from it and I was like, oh, that makes sense. Um, I hadn't realized that, stuff like that. And I think the kind of collaboration that we had was really, really great on this project, and it made it super easy to help him help build it. You know what I mean? He obviously he built it, but to convey what he wanted.
That's awesome. Um, you mentioned that you had done theater when you were younger. Did you bring any part of yourself into Griffin?
Um, I think so. I really wanted to be when I was 9. I started local theater, and I really wanted to be taken seriously. And I didn't like when people were like, "Oh, he's so cute." I was like, "No, I'm really professional." And and so I think like in that aspect, like he really wants to be his work to be taken seriously, and I felt the same. And so I was able to incorporate that, I think, and I kind of clicked with that, and I was like, ah, I get that. I know how he feels. That was probably the biggest thing for me. And yeah, just the experience that I had from theater, I took a lot of that into consideration for my auditions, and the whole thing, like how serious he is for his art, and all his castmates, and I think that was the most useful thing for me when auditioning and performing.
Nice, nice. Um, I absolutely loved Griffin and Brad's relationship and how it evolved. And what was it like working with Owen?
I don't think I have enough good things to say about Owen and the rest. I mean, I think it was just I was really, really nervous coming into it. It was my first lead role, and I didn't really know what to expect, and I didn't know how I was going to act opposite everyone who's in the film because everyone is so great. Everyone has so much experience, and they're um, so critically acclaimed. And I think that the first 2 weeks I worked with the kids, which was so much fun, and then the last 2 weeks I really started working with Melanie and Owen and Catherine and those people, and I couldn't have felt more welcomed, and I couldn't have felt like everyone was. I felt everyone was so supportive, and they kind of understood where I was and how nervous I was, and so kind and so giving as an actor, like to for him to uh for me to act against him, I thought was really, really I was very lucky to have that, because I think it can be hard if you have someone as a castmate that you don't click with, and I was very fortunate. He was very giving. I remember we were doing a scene and I wasn't really getting it, and I felt kind of frustrated, and it wasn't his coverage, it was my coverage, and he went all out for his from my angle, so I could kind of get a genuine reaction, and I think that really sums up kind of what a person he is, and I don't think anyone else could have done it better.
That's really sweet to hear. Um, yeah, you mentioned a few of your castmates. You got to work with really cool people on this film. Is there anything that you learned from them that you're taking away into future projects?
Yeah, I think there's a ton. I think one of the biggest things was that when I saw that they tried stuff differently and they didn't do the same thing every time, and they wanted to switch it up, and I admired that because I was nervous to like do it wrong and to do it like a way the director or other people wouldn't like. And I think looking at them switching it up and trying new things was really great motivation for me. And now I feel more comfortable doing that. And especially Melanie and Owen, I worked with them the most. So I think that that was something I really saw. And then also, I was in the bar scene with Catherine and Owen. They told me that having a second hobby, like something outside of acting, is like necessary. I think that was one of the best pieces of advice, because if you need something to kind of calm down, to get away, because acting's hard, it's a lot of no's and very little yes, and to have something that you're passionate about and that you find fun and interesting is really great if you need a reset, because if you only focus on this, it'll take a toll on you, I think.
I can only imagine.
Yeah.
Um, have you found that second hobby?
I've been trying. So I live in Montana, so during the winter I'll go skiing every weekend, and my dad's a ski instructor, and so I love going skiing. I'm also like learning a couple languages. I'm trying at least, and um so those are like my focuses right now. I've been gone every single summer since Griffin, so 3 years in a row now. Um and I've it's made it hard because obviously I have school when I'm not
Mm,
and when I'm it's not summer. So, but I've found those, I think, to be like sitting in my room learning languages, or like learning or reading. I love reading comic books and skiing in the winter.
that's awesome. I tried to learn French a couple years ago, and
Yeah.
failed miserably. So
Yeah,
I wish you all the best with languages.
thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. I tried French like years ago and I gave up after like 2 days. It's too hard.
Yeah, very hard, very hard. Um, what are you most excited for people to see when they watch Griffin in summer?
I think really Nicholas said this um one time, but I think it's great for someone, if you find a meaning and it obviously have a connection to the movie and you find something that you click with or that you admire, that's great. If you find a theme, that's amazing. But I also think that it's really important to just like have a movie where you can sit down and laugh and have fun and then like feel bad for the characters and then feel sad and then feel happy. I think it's like a movie that just you can enjoy watching after like a day at work or whatever. And I think he said that that was really important for him, if that just people laughed and that they enjoyed it. I think that's really, it was interesting, and I agree with that. I think like I love, well, after a rough day, like just watching a movie that I can, laugh hysterically at. And I think that's like if someone said that to me, like, "Oh, your movie was hilarious," and I would be like, "Oh, that's a really great compliment."
I agree 100% with that. My favorite thing is coming home and just putting the TV on.
Yeah.
Um, Now that you have played a playwright, would you ever consider writing plays, TV shows, movies, as like another hobby to kind of go into?
I try to write. I try to write. Um, I mostly write songs, I think, because I also love music and I love singing. But I don't know if I could write a play. I tried once and like I gave up because you have to do all like technically the like all the fonts and the technical aspect of it was something I was like I'm too lazy for this. Um, and I don't know if I'm a great writer. I don't know if I would be able to kind of get through a script and like it. So I'd be open to maybe trying it again in the future, but as of right now, I'm trying to like maybe it's not the thing for me.
That's fair. That's fair. Uh, you won't know until you try.
Right, that's true. I should do it again.
I fully support it.
Yeah.
My final question for you is, what's up next? What can we look forward to?
I last summer I shot a movie in Romania called The Plague, and it's about a kid, Ben, who I play. He goes to a water polo camp. His mom sends him there for the summer, and he's not athletic and he hates socializing and he has bad anxiety. And so he feels like he doesn't fit in. And then there's another kid there, Eli, who has acne and he has rashes, and other kids make fun of him, and he feels bad, but he also doesn't want to be judged and he doesn't want to be like him. And I think like that struggle there is kind of, do I help and do I befriend someone or do I try to fit in with the cool kids? And that's kind of the struggle. It's kind of intense. It's a psychological thriller, so it's it's way different from Griffin, which I can appreciate. But yeah, that's what that's kind of the synopsis. And then I filmed a TV series this summer called The Audacity, and I had so much fun. It was the longest shoot I ever did. It's about a CEO. It takes place in Silicon Valley, and all of the people that are involved in his life and his family members' lives and his friends' lives, and how money and how wealth um, how it blinds you, how you get an ego, how you kind of get like a god complex, and
Mm,
you don't really, it takes over your life, it takes over your mind, and it all becomes very fake, and it kind of explores the drama and that.
sounds equally as different from Griffin and Summer.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome. I'm very much looking forward to seeing both of those.
Thank
And again, I absolutely loved Griffin and Summer. So congratulations on that, and I wish you all the best with your upcoming projects, learning all of those languages, and I really do hope to see you writing one day.
Thank you so much. It was nice to meet you.